PRISMA and there's a grade also. It will be like 2 o'clock. So we have still got 2 sessions left. So probably then I would like to take 3 sessions rather. So let's go to this. I think we close this. So now coming to PRISMA. So we have discussed this earlier also. There was an activity in this, but because of lack of time, we are not giving you that activity. This will be there with you people. You can try plotting this PRISMA at your end. So we have discussed all these, like we have defined the research question. Again, I'm summarizing since beginning. We have defined the research questions. We have, from that research question, we have identified the key concepts. We have populated that key concepts. We have selected the database, and then we ran the same search strategies in all the database. And we have imported the result in NBIB format and in RIS format into the RAYAN. And we have done the title abstract screening, inviting the reviewer. And we have got the final list of the... Not... Okay, maybe you can check, Dr. Subhapriya. Am I audible to all other participants? Can anybody else confirm? Okay, yes. So probably Dr. Subhapriya, you can check the connectivity at your end. And then I have retrieved the full text. I have extracted the data, done the qualitative synthesis. I have planned for meta-analysis. And then now I am done with the meta-analysis. Now I need to draw PRISMA because this thing is ready and I need to report the PRISMA according to this PRISMA. So what is this PRISMA? Basically, so this PRISMA contains, what is the full form of PRISMA? So basically the full form of PRISMA is the preferred reporting items for systematic review and meta-analysis. So whenever you have seen this PRISMA, generally what we think that it is only related to that flow diagram. But this PRISMA is not only related to this flow diagram, rather it has got 3 components. So the first component is the statement of this PRISMA. The second component is the 27 item checklist. Again, this PRISMA is not a guideline how you should conduct your meta-analysis. This PRISMA is only for reporting. How you have to report it means when you are drafting your manuscript, how you have to report. So that is the PRISMA guideline, which is based on a 27, like we'll show you, and we have given it in the shared drive also, the 27 item checklist for reporting the abstract also, because it has got a reporting format for abstract also. And then this flow diagram is there, which you will often see in the result section whenever you read any systematic review and meta-analysis. So we have seen this quite number of time, and it has got 3 sections. So there is first section. If you see initially this thing, it has got a identification stage, it has got a screening stage, and it has got an inclusion stage. So these are the 3 stages. Then there is a gray color here. So like this is regarding the previous studies. That means if I have already done a systematic review and meta-analysis on any topic, let's say we have done on the air pollution and in ADHD, and I want to again redo it. Redo it means like maybe already 2 years are now passed and now new studies has been added. So I again want to update my meta-analysis and systematic review. In that case, the previous studies number you can include here, and then the new studies you can include in this section. So this is for the previous study. Now this section, it is there for the new studies. So new studies means the fresh, if you are starting the meta-analysis of fresh, then you use this form. You don't use this. You will not use this because you are not updating your already done meta-analysis. And this third section, this is for the gray literature. So this gray literature we have discussed, it includes the websites, any organization, citation searching, and then you don't do the title abstract screening in case of a gray literature. You only like assess it for the eligibility in the final in the review, final synthesis. So these are the three both are three stages, like identification, screening, and inclusion, and three parts like previous studies, then new studies, and gray literature. Then coming to there are three terms. If you see here, there are three terms. There is a record, and there is a report, and there is a study. Okay. So there are three terms in PRISMA. So what are records, what are reports, and what are studies? We'll see. So record versus report versus study. So initially, if you see, generally it starts with a record. If I go back to this graph, it tells you regarding this record. So it starts with the record, then it comes the report. So if you can recall, initially what we imported the citations. That means the RIS format and NBIB format, we imported that. So that is the record, which is there in the database. And then there are reports. So generally reports are the individual manuscript. And then there are studies. So studies, basically, there is a one major study under which you have got 2-3 reports. That is known as the study. This is broad one. Now I'll discuss it in detail. What are these studies, reports, and records? So this there is a report, there is a record, and there is a study. So coming to records. So what are the records? Like I said, records are there in the entry of individual manuscript in a particular database. That is known as the record. So basically it is the metadata of that particular abstract, which is there in the publication, whatever publication house is there. And with that metadata, it is indexed into that particular database, whether it is Embase or Web of Science or Medline. And it may include duplicates, because if you can just go back and see the RAN and see those studies which you have imported, you will see that there were 16 or 17 duplication in that small number of included small number of citations also. So you have got a lot of duplication, because the same study metadata you get from Embase, and you may get it from the Web of Science, or may get from the Scopus also. So you will have a lot of duplication. So you need to deduplicate, means remove those duplicates before you start with your title abstract screening. And again, this metadata is unique. But again, the content it may differ slightly. So this is known as the records. So remember, RIS format, or which you people were trying to open. Remember on day 1 and 2, you people were saying that RIS file is not opening, NBIB file is not opening. So basically that record, whichever you have imported in that format, once you import it in a RAN or any other software, then only you will be able to read it, or in Zotero or any other reference manager. So that is the record. For example, records are like individual entries into a database or individual citation. So in systematic review, we may find two records of same person, like Smith et al. Here in the Journal of Clinical Nutrition, and again Smith et al. Again indexed with a different database in the PubMed and Scopus. So you need to deduplicate it before you start with your title abstract screening. Coming to reports. So what are reports? Basically, reports are the individual publication. So a single study can have a multiple reports. What do I mean by this? Like, suppose like there are three objectives of I'm doing any study and I've got three objectives. So probably I'll publish one objective in one paper and the rest of the two and three objective in another paper. We more often, like I also, when I did my thesis publication, I did three publication from my single thesis because there were three different like topics. I mean, same the parts of the same topic. So if from a single study, if you are doing three publication, then the study will be single, but the publication will be three or the reports will be three. So what are these? What are study? What is study and what is report? So basically, report is the individual publication or the individual manuscript. Again, you may have the like full, like in this example you can see like Smith et al, that is full studies published in Journal of Clinical Nutrition, and maybe many times they do the secondary data analysis or some follow-up study they do. Like one, we have done one study on Swasth Mitra, probably again we are we want to have a follow-up study on the same set of people. So if I am planning for the follow-up study, then I'll again from the single same study I'm doing another publication. So if I'm doing some secondary data analysis or follow-up study and I'm doing it in the form of a separate publication, then again it will be called as a report. So what do I mean by that? Number of study will be less than the total number of reports. That means here from a single study I'm publishing three reports. So this is what do I mean by reports. So and coming to studies, then what are the studies? So basically studies are the actual investigation or a clinical trial. So one single clinical trial, like suppose there were many studies published with the COVID trial. So there was a COVID trial and then people, because it's a long duration, so people keep on publishing the research, especially in case of a intervention studies. They initially do some publication and then they publish the middle part. Then some interim analysis is there, then also they publish. So the study can generate multiple reports. So that is the study. So that study is a research project itself. So one study may be reported in multiple reports or paper. And that study, the way I said, one trial, if it has examined the three, like there are three different probiotic. So probably in one trial, person can report the primary outcome. In the report two, he may do it on the secondary outcome, or maybe a third report is also there in the form of a conference abstract, because many times we present our interim analysis in any conference also. So from the same study, I have got more than three reports. So the unit of analysis in any systematic review is the study. It is not the report, it is not the record, it is the study. So you need to mention both these two. In this case, if you see, this is again the PRISMA. So here, if you see, till here it writes the reports. When you are doing the title abstract screening, and you have done the eligibility. So after duplication, see, till here it writes records. But after you have removed the duplication, it writes reports. I think records excluded, it writes reports. So reports is the individual manuscript. And then this again, after this reports, when it has gone into the stage of the inclusion, then it writes the studies. So these studies, if you see, the reports of again you generally these numbers may be same. So when the number will be different. So in the final included study, if you have got two studies with the same author name, same set of authors, then you need to check whether it is the same study, and same study, like there are two reports of the same study or not. So usually these two numbers are same, because the new studies and the reports, they are same. But if anytime if there are two studies where the number of authors, the like same author is there twice, then you need to check. In that case, the study number will be one less than the total number of reports. Am I making myself clear to you? What is report, what is record, and what is study? Yes? Or let me check. Okay. Thank you for scooping. So now coming to, so again, what is PRISMA? PRISMA is the preferred reporting item for systematic review and meta-analysis. And this is a widely used, in case of a systematic review, you have to report your finding using the PRISMA. So PRISMA is again, it track the progress of studies throughout the review process. So that's why we have emphasized a lot on making a log since beginning. So there are 4 stages. There is identification, there's a screening, there's a eligibility, and there's a inclusion. This all we have seen. And then you basically purpose, why do you have this PRISMA? Because you wanted, we have seen the difference between a systematic review and a narrative review. And to ensure transparency, that means if someone else uses that same search strategy and perform that search, then he will also get the same number. Or if there's a time difference, maybe few numbers might get added. And again, it is regarding the reproducibility. So that's why this PRISMA is needed, and it helps the reader to understand the process, how this overall process was conducted, this process of systematic review. So initially, the Cochrane, they have given 2010 PRISMA, where I have told this initially also, they have included the grey literature, they have included this registries in the grey literature. But now, from registry, they have moved this registry back to the main one. Now registries are not there under the grey literature. It comes as a main database search. So if you see the latest PRISMA 2020 version, it has got a updated flow diagram with detailed section, and we encourage all of you to fill, because right now also you will see that many people, they are going with the PRISMA 2010 version. But it's better that you go with the 2020 version. It has got a greater clarity, and also it has got a separate heading for the reasons of exclusion of study in the main full review. So again, the pre-screening details, such as the deduplicate removal, that is there. It has got a separate exclusion criteria for the full text review, and it has got it has moved the registries from the section of grey literature to the main database search. So these are the 4 components of PRISMA. There's the identification stage, where you identify the records and you through the database and you do the duplicate removal. It has got a screening stage when you do the title abstract screening, and you exclude many records based on duplication. You assess that those records, not records, you assess the reports for the eligibility, and then you finally include those reports in your final analysis. That is the study, which is the unit of analysis in case of a systematic review. So how to create this PRISMA flowchart? So there are 3 options you can use that. The first is to use a web-based Shiny app. Like Shiny app is a web-based data entry. You can use a Shiny app. You can use it in a Microsoft Word document. There's a Word template. You can draw this in the Microsoft Word template. And then there's an Excel-based template. So what is this Excel-based template? So Excel-based template, again, it is there. We have given you, but this is not very user-friendly. So what we recommend, I think the best is you use Word template. I'll show you over the Shiny app also, but Shiny app is like, it is dynamic and it should be done in single go. It doesn't save your file. So either you need to take screenshots or you need to make it in one go. So that's better. It's better that you do it in Microsoft Word, because you can keep on saving, and then it will be, whatever work you have done, it will be saved. So now coming to the direct entry into this Shiny app, again, it is a generator. It is it is dynamic. The moment you will enter your database, the numbers, it will appear here. And then you should enter the study outcome. So you should have that log ready with you. Then only you can enter the data here in the Shiny app. But again, like I said, this version doesn't save your progress. So you need to take multiple screenshots if you are using Shiny app. The Word template is very user friendly. We all have been working on words. So I think that's the best, which we recommend, Prisma filling over the Word, and that is best for offline. It keeps on saving your progress. Also, Excel based template, they are not very user friendly, and if you are not a person who likes to work on Excel, then we don't recommend you to use this. And then coming to this. Again, the way I have shown, like you should be doing it, you should have got everything prepared with you. Number in the Embase, number gotten from the PubMed or from the Web of Science, from the registry, from the Grey Literature. These numbers you should have at one place. Then only you sit and do it over the Prisma. You have to input the search data in Shiny app, and then you have to save and download the file. So let me first show this Prisma over the Shiny app. You can click here, Shiny app Prisma. If you click this, Shiny apps, click this. And now there's an option of create flow diagram. So click on this create flow diagram, and you can see there's towards the left side, you need to enter the data towards this side. And here it will be populated. So there are two sections. This is the database and this is your Grey Literature. So let's say I will start with the previous studies included. So I don't want I'm doing a fresh meta-analysis or fresh systematic review. So I have written like not included. So that's why if you put it included, then this column, this will appear, which we were discussing. But I have not, I will put this as a not included. Other searches have included. So I will put this as included. Now individual database, how many database? So let's say I have only done it on Embase and PubMed. So I will write it as an individual database I have included. And I have included the registries also. So registries. So the moment you say, now it will show you these many database and these many registries. Okay. Now you need to enter the each individual numbers. How many database? So suppose I write two database here and I write two registers. Just for demo, I am showing it. In between, it will show you it is error, but again, it will appear. So here you can see it will give you the number of two database. Not database is 3. And then no, that time also once you. So I will keep on entering the name here. Database 1. So suppose database 1 is PubMed. So I have written PubMed here. And how many articles from PubMed? So in PubMed, it takes some time. So PubMed I have included. Let's say there are 290 articles from PubMed. Initially, this is identification. And then database 2, it is the Embase. So in database 2, you have to write Embase. And you have to write the numbers. In this triple X, you have to write numbers. So let's say 300. So two databases there. And from here, the rest it has disappeared. Now it is only taking 2. Again, these 2 you have to make it total and enter it here. How many? Because it doesn't automatically. So how to calculate this total here? It will. So we'll see that. And then coming to this database, this registers. So this after Embase, you can see. And I will delete this. So you can delete. So once you delete this, now it is only showing registries. If you have using registry, suppose I will write like register 1, some number. You can write like clinicaltrial.gov.in, or you can write like register 1, 2, and 3 and simply write the number. So 24, register 2. You can write like, let's say 32, and rest you can delete it. I know, coming. Then rest we can delete it. And this total, so 300 plus 290, it is total 590. So here database total identification I have written like 590. So I have written 590 and total number is 32 and 24, it is 66, 56. So I have written from the registers 56. So now you can see here that those numbers have appeared here in this case. This was regarding the identified. And then coming to like website organizations, I have not included that. So, or website, if I have seen two websites, two from websites, three number, yeah, three number of articles. It is the number of articles which, or you can write 10. It is not the website, how many websites you have seen, like how many articles you have seen. And then organization, suppose if you have seen like 5 organizations, citations, let's see, you have seen like, let's say 100 citations. And then you can write that duplicates. If you have removed like, let's say 50 duplicates, you can enter it here. Automatically excluded or other exclusion, like any other language is there. If you have, so 2 I have removed from any other language. So that will appear here in this column. And then in the screening stage, now you have to see like how many you have screened. So if you have removed 50 and total are 590, so that total will be 540. So these numbers you should have. Record screen, and then suppose you have excluded 500. And then report sort, you have 40, report sort the report for 40, and you have not got the report of, let's say, 10. So now here 30 total reports, you've got 30. Why? Because 10 you did not get. Other reports not retrieved. And then comes the full text, this thing. Let me go down. And here you can see 40 reports not retrieved, 10. So total assessed is 30. So for full text, I have assessed 30. And then I have excluded, let's say, 5. So I'll write reason for that. Reports. Other reports no, but reasons assessed. Other reports sought, and here reason you can write. Reason for not having. So here the reason will appear and the number will also appear. So this was regarding the Shiny app. Coming to the Microsoft Word, that we have given it to you, but again I'll show. If you see that Prisma, let me arrange by type. So this is the Microsoft Word format. And version 1 means it is without the gray literature. So you can like keep on entering the number. It is more user friendly because you can save this. And if you see the version 2, it is with the gray literature also, like here, and the identification by the other methods. So these two, you can use this. So now coming back to, there was one, so there are some myths related to this Prisma. So basically this, it is for reporting. So let's say this was one article, probiotics and use of probiotic in antibiotic associated diarrhea. So if you see, they are writing this meta-analysis was conducted using this Prisma statement. So no, Prisma is not for conduction. For conduction, generally, it is the Cochrane guideline, and for reporting, it is the Prisma. So this is regarding one misconception. It doesn't give you the guideline for the conduction of systematic review and meta-analysis. Again, they have, like, this is the right way of writing. They have written that we conducted this meta-analysis according to Cochrane Handbook of Systematic Reviews. Right, this is okay. Again, this was one systematic review which we have used in our this workshop, and they have written it correctly. Like this statement review and meta-analysis follow the Cochrane collaboration guideline and the PRISMA statement with respect to reporting. So for reporting, they have used the PRISMA, and for conduction, they have used the Cochrane guideline. So now I think this was one activity time, but we are skipping this because we don't have that much time now. So let me go to another session which is on the grade.